Okay, we're recording. So let me go over that one more time real quick. I'm gonna talk about LinkedIn. Forgot to hit the. So on LinkedIn, can you guys see this LinkedIn stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn, you can now apply for live video broadcasting. And you just fill out an application, and when they accept you, then you can live stream, and you can use StreamYard, which I have taught y'all a little bit about, and we'll go over that some more later. All right, so if there's no more questions on LinkedIn, we will move to the next thing I want to show y'all. Now, some of this you may wonder, well, Mary, why are you showing me this? Because you know, this has nothing to do with podcasting or videos, but you never know. I'm telling you, I use some of the wildest stuff for all different types of things that I'm doing. All right, so the next one is an alphabetizing list maker.
Wow.
It's called the alphabetizer. How about that? You can alphabetize anything that you want. You just enter your list of items below to sort them in alphabetical order. Now, it does more than that. It's a lot more than that. So let me show you some of the things that you can do. You can just alphabetize any list in an ABC order. You can do it by last name. You can sort titles. This option will help you get the titles of movies, films, books, records, music, laws, SEO terms, whatever your list is, it's going to help you with your titles. Now, let's say you want everything lowercase. Sometimes you want it like that. It'll let you do this. That's an option. You can capitalize the titles. It knows the names of titles. You can remove duplicates. This is a great option. If you have a long list, especially a list of names, say you want to do some emailing, and you have a whole list of people that you've had enter their names into a contest or something, you can remove the duplicates. Reverse list. Strip HTML. Now, you know how I strip HTML? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I want you to step up and say you don't, because this is important.
I don't.
I don't.
Okay. Have you ever copied something from a Word document and pasted it somewhere else, and there was a whole bunch of gobbledygook in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's HTML, and you can't see it until you go and paste it somewhere. It's hidden. It's almost like, how did they even hide all that? But it's there. It's just hidden. And sometimes you can't get it to justify or something because there's some hidden rules. Well, this will strip that out. Another way you can strip HTML out is using a notepad. Like this is a notepad. You can put any HTML into your notepad and it'll strip it out for you. And then so you copy and paste, and then you copy and paste from here, and it takes out all that hidden HTML.
I have a question.
Okay, sure.
HTML is an acronym for what?
Hypertext Markup Language.
Give that girl a quarter. I didn't think you would know it.
You didn't, huh?
Every time I write a blog in Word, I always put it into Notebook to get rid of all that extra stuff before I take the result of Notebook and put that into my
Yes, as an author, I'm sure you need that.
blog. And so it's just one of those things I do routinely.
Fantastic. Well, now you guys can use this company. The randomizer, a fun list. Arrange the items in a list in random order. How about that? Number, letter, add Roman numerals. You can add custom text, remove word from each line, ignore the list options, separate terms with. There's a lot of different things you can do with this fun-looking little alphabetizer.
Can you put the link in the chat box for us?
Sure,
Thank you.
absolutely. All right, Control C down here in the, where is it now? I always have to go and try to find it. I have so many places over here. Let's see, where is it? Oh, there it is. Here's, all right, I'm putting it in the chat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did it go? There it goes. All
I
right.
don't think. There it comes.
There it goes. Okay. All right. Any questions about this tool that you might need or might not need?
Do you just plop your names in there like a Word document or something?
Yeah,
Perfect. I can do that.
I know. Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I do all this a lot in Excel. But what I do, if I need it in a Word document or somewhere else, I go do it in Excel and then bring it over. But it looks like this might be a little more user friendly than having to write all the deals in Excel.
You know, for certain things, I bet you this would work really well. And it does accept anything from Microsoft Word or Excel.
Yeah, but I like the randomizer.
Yeah.
For drawings, right? Like, so you could take your mailing, like if you said we're going to do a random drawing and you have everybody that's entered, you could dump the list in and do a random.
Yeah.
You could use this for a random drawing.
Yes, contests are very popular.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we should do as a group, think about this. Now, I wanted to do this so many times and I just never got around to it. Think about this now. As a group, we all want to build our email list, right? Well, what if we offered an iPad for a contest? How many people would sign up for that?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we could bring all the different emails in here that get put into the contest, and we could just pick one out randomly.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff online. There's stuff online where you can do stuff to do randoms or whatever, but this looks like it'd be super easy to not have to do a whole lot of manipulation with your list before you dump it in.
Right. Oh, I agree with that. Very easy. Okay, the next thing I want to show y'all is the big thing of the night, okay? And after we do this, then we'll check in. Now, you all have heard me talk about using the internet to find images that you really, really want to use in your promotions and your fun things, right? Well, I found the Internet Archive. And I'm going to put that in to the chat room. And then I'm going to tell you about it. It is amazing. All right, it goes right into that chat room. Bam, there we go, archive.org. Okay, so archive.org has, it's a 501(c)(3), it's a nonprofit, and they're building a digital library of internet sites and other cultural artifacts in digital form, like a paper library, providing free access to researchers, historians, scholars, the print disabled, and the general public. Their mission, which I love, is to provide universal access to all knowledge. Now, one of the reasons why I love this is because we have to use the Wayback Machine sometimes. When we're building websites, people will ask us, well, can you go and see this website, you know, that I had 10 years ago? It's not on the internet anymore. Yeah, sure. I'm a magician. I can do that. Well, guess what? I can. Louise, do you have a website that is no longer available?
Well, I looked and didn't find it, so maybe you can with this. It was just louisedewey.com. Remember, you did a beautiful banner with a swan.
Okay, so the way we do that is we go to the Wayback Machine. So we'll go, it was probably HTTP. They didn't have that back then. They didn't have the S. So let's check it out. Did I spell that right? Yep. Now they're gonna tell me what days are available. It was saved 17 times between 2010 and 2018.
Oh my
Let's
God.
Really?
let's see what it looked like in 2011.
Oh my God. Huh. Wow.
Now I don't see it
It
yet.
didn't exist. I don't think we ever put anything on it but a banner.
It was the 27th of November or something like that. There was a blue, like there, June 4th. You had
Yeah, snapshot.
some dates highlighted.
All right, here we go.
Oh my
There you go.
God. There you are.
There we are.
Seeker of knowledge.
I wonder if I could find those three. I wonder if I could find those 300 blogs that blogger.com took away
Oh
from
my
me.
God, I wonder.
I'll worry
Probably
about-
could.
I'll do that my own.
Isn't that crazy? All right, let's
Probably
see.
could, Red.
Let's see here.
Wow, that's insane.
I built that many, many, many years ago, as you can tell.
Back in the day.
Uh-huh.
I love
Well,
that.
that's not easier than going back through all of your backup files to try to find it.
Well, it's not, I mean, it's not that.
I mean, you can't reload it from here, but still you could
No,
get.
but you could see some of the images maybe that you did. Okay. All right, so that's the Wayback Machine, and that is, oh dear, I lost it. Darn it. Ah, Marianne, why'd you close that? Hold on. Now I gotta go and find it again.
Gotta go find it again.
Now I gotta go and find it
Can't you
again.
just go to archive.org?
No, that was, oh, hello, archive.org, thank you. Somebody's thinking.
The reason I say that is my previous employer, I used to post all my videos to that. So if you wanted to see any media interviews I did with the International Space Station, they're there.
Oh, cool, Karen. That's good to know.
The 3 million images that they have, Marianne, are those royalty free or are those just images?
Everything you find, it is, yes, you can have.
Yeah, once it goes to that, anybody can use it. That's what we would tell the
That's
media,
right.
that you could take my interview that I posted to that website, and if they want to use it on channel 2 or 11, 13, whoever, they could take it there and take that piece.
So there's so much on here, you guys. Just get in here and look around. So this is about the internet. Now, look at this. You can find any text that you want, okay? 330 billion web pages, 20 million books and text. You'll never run out of stuff, okay?
Wow, this is like a researcher's dream.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Wow. Books, there's an open library. There's all these different libraries.
Ask Kathy Gawaizen if she knows about this. She would love this.
This is awesome.
Now, here's another one, video. TV news and understanding 9/11. There's all video. There's a lot of different types of videos, animation, cartoons, and you can use all this. This is all stuff that you can use. You could take it apart. You could use part of it. You could, take it. Oh, it's just amazing what you can do here. Audio. You guys like to listen to free audiobooks? Hello?
Yes.
Music, audio, oh my goodness, podcast, radio, old radio programs.
Oh, yeah. That's
The
cool.
shadow knows.
We also have software. So this gets a little more complicated. You probably aren't going to spend too much time in here, but people like Becky would for sure.
Oh, Becky would love it.
Now, if you like games, they have games in here.
CD-ROM images.
And they also have, yes, this is all the images from the
Wow.
Brooklyn Museum, from the Metropolitan Museum.
Wow.
Look at NASA images.
NASA images, yeah.
That's right. Flickr.
Oh, yeah.
This one? Wow.
So anything that's archivable in here, you can have. You can have any of it.
Wow.
Nonprofit,
3
you
million
say?
images, videos.
You say
audio.
nonprofit? So
What?
is there a cost to this, or what is it?
No, everything is free, Steve.
Whoa. Whoa.
You found the
glad I-
jackpot, Marion.
I'm glad I tuned in this evening.
Yeah, well, I did record this in case you want to go back or share it with somebody, because I know this is very, very interesting.
Wow.
You could spend your whole life on this thing.
Yeah. Well, not only one life, but maybe 10.
And
That
a lot,
temptation would be there, Steve, yes.
a lot of people dig in here to create content for their blogs and for their books and for their a lot for their videos, for their promotions, you name it, you can find it in here. All right.
Wow.
Wow, right?
That
Wow.
is a wow. Yes. That is
Yeah.
a wow.
Yeah, I thought y'all would like that. You
Very
know,
nice.
sometimes I get people are afraid to ask me, "Oh, Marion, how did you do that?" Or "Marion, where did you find that?" Or they're intimidated, or they feel like they can't ask. And I say, ask, okay? Because sometimes I forget.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Because they
tried
think it's a
on
secret.
that archive. I'm just curious. Have you ever tried putting in an address?
No, but they do have maps in here. Now,
It said geology also.
you know what? Louise Dewey used to work for a company that sold maps before Google Maps came about, before, you know, they had these flying little boogers with cameras on them. They would have people in airplanes drive over your house or your farm and take pictures, and then she would go and sell it. Louise, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the airplane flew very low and would snap pictures up one road and then down the next one, and then would draw a map as to where the pictures, and would number the pictures. So all I had to do was find the starting point, the road with a number on it or a name, and just look at my little picture. Had 5x7 pictures, black and white, and I would, well, that looks like that house. So I'd go show them that picture and then hopefully sell them an oil painting of that picture. And
Oh, wow.
people loved it because it was an aerial view. They never saw their house before from the air, and they just had to buy it. I made a lot of money with that company.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yes.
We've come a
Wow.
long way. So yes, there's maps. I'm sure you could, Kathy. And I highly recommend that y'all dig into this.
Yeah, that would be great.
Well, it's like
Maybe they're a full day.
This house that I stayed at Cape Cod the last 2 years on vacation has an incredible history. I know there's a story about this house, and I would be fascinated to just learn the history of the house.
You could do that with this program.
That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Marion, does it say
Okay,
podcast also?
There are podcasts in here, yes,
Wow.
there are.
What part of Cape Cod, Kathy?
Well, the house was in Yarmouth Port, but we went to Chatham. We went all up and all around the island. But there's just this old rambling house. It's got to be 200 years old. It's an old house, but it just felt like every time something happened, they just built on a room. There aren't halls. They're just rooms. So you just walk through rooms to the next rooms.
When I was in Germany in Michels-Rosenbach, it's a small town, very small town, and they had done in 1956 the history of every building in that city going back into the 1700s, who lived there and what times as best they could recollect. So they had actually published a book of everybody's address, everybody who lived in those homes. And I thought that was quite
It would be
interesting.
fascinating to see the history of this house, because I mean, it's absolutely, I don't know who's lived there or whatever, but they had the best energy ever, because the house itself has the best energy. And but it's just, there's like 12 different doors that go outside. So it's like every time they added on, they thought they needed another door to outside. And a lot of them they don't even use them anymore. They're like, they painted over them. They're painted, almost painted shut. And they're so long. But I think it would be a fascinating story of number 3 Church Street.
That's the straight Church Street. I grew up in Massachusetts. That's why I'm asking these questions.
Yes, number 3 Church Street, Yarmouthport, Massachusetts.
Okay, thanks. I have a cousin up there. I'll have her look it up.
I was just fascinated. I mean, can you imagine that to get to a bedroom, you had to walk through 3 other bedrooms?
You know, when I went to look at the personal care homes for Shirley, we visited one house where we had to go through some guy's bedroom. One of the residents there, we had to go through his bedroom to get to the other part of the house.
When you would go upstairs, if you went upstairs on one end of the house, you would walk up and there would be like a little landing, and there were 3 bedrooms and a bathroom right there. But beyond that, where the other 3 bedrooms were, you just went to the bedroom, and then to the bedroom, and then to the bedroom. It was like they just decided to just keep adding on. They didn't want to waste any room for a hall. So there's a door to go in the room, and then a door to go out of the room, which is the door to go into the room, which is the door to go out of the room.
Yeah.
And on the other end, they built another staircase so you could get back downstairs.
Yeah.
It's just the most bizarre thing.
Yeah.
Even downstairs and layout downstairs, you can tell because the thresholds are different. Like you can tell this wood is a lot older than that wood, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no carpet anywhere.
The owner of that house had to be a good carpenter, right?
I know, but don't you think that would be a fascinating book?
Yes.
Number 3 Church Street. I just think that would make the most fascinating book to talk about all the big people that have lived there. And because as I understand it, it's been a house that over the years authors have, but I'm loving this idea of taking this archive site and saying, what could I research there?
Yeah, good idea.
Right?
That's right. Write a book about it.
I found out last week, I didn't know this. I've spent the last 20 years explaining my street name, spelling my street name, Honey Locust Hill. I never knew honey locust was a tree. Right? So we were talking about this around the table, and I said, I don't understand the name of my street. I don't know who names the street. And then one of the ladies there said, well, honey locust is a tree. I never knew. So on my way home, I researched honey locust trees. And guess what? Honey locust trees were like a huge part of everything to do with the Cherokee Indian tribe. Well, I'm from the Cherokees. So here I am living on Honey Locust Hill. I mean, I love research. I love finding stuff out.
Oh, you're going to love that website, though. It'll keep you busy.
Well, and I've worked on tons of websites over the years as a content contributor and designer for the images and stuff. I'm going to have fun on that Wayback Machine.
Yes. Yes, you are.
I'm always a little sad when we have to take down a website.
I totally agree. Okay, so I'm
always just a little bit sad, like, man, I really love that website. You know, that's why my website hardly ever gets updated, because I get emotionally attached to the damn
tools
on the website.
Technology is still up. I haven't used that in years. Yes, it's true. Okay, I know We only have about 15 minutes. I want to check in with y'all and see where you are with your podcast and see who needs help and what's going on. Red, I'm picking you. What's up?
Absolutely no change since last week between the funeral and being out of town. Too many things going on this week. I did find my old recording equipment that I used way back when for doing CDs about 10 years ago. It's got I don't know, the speaker on the thing is not speaker, but the microphone is just a huge microphone. And so I'm giving a lot of thought to setting something up a little bit more formal than just using a lapel mic.
Okay. All right. I understand you've had a lot of stuff going on. And luckily for you, we have a new launch date, right? We haven't said it yet, but it's coming. So you have time.
Okay, thank you.
That doesn't give you the option of waiting to the last second again, okay?
Oh, it always gives me that option.
I don't want that to be your option.
Because you tell me it's on the 23rd, and in reality, it's on the 27th, and everything will be delivered by the 23rd.
Okay, got it. Got it. I see how you are now. Did you all heard that, right? Okay.
I am leaving the 15th or 16th to go to Cuba for about 2.5 weeks. I'll be back in early November. So just depending on what you have while I'm gone.
I think we'll probably have the launch, believe it or not, after the first of the year, because once the end of October comes, you know what's going on.
Everybody wants to do a holiday.
Everybody's doing holiday stuff. Nobody's going to pay a bit of attention to our podcast. So don't let that stop you from launching your own, though. I mean, keep it going. You know, keep putting some in the can, and we'll have a big blowout the 1st of January. All right? That's my thought. Now,
Marion, you know the problem we were having with the art and all that, and then writing Patreon and all that to get them to answer.
yes.
Peg, did we get an answer from them? No. There you go. Remember how frustrated the three of us were? So, is there somebody we can call?
Okay, so what they're talking about for everybody else is there was a problem with the software taking their image. So it tells me exactly how big the pixels need to be for the image that they want for the background on Patreon. Sorry, you guys, I'm about my... And it was wrong. It was skewing it. It was bad. So I manipulated the image just so they can have something up, but it's not what we wanted. So they wrote to the help section and they haven't heard back from Patreon. So I'm a paying member of them. I will put the word out there. I will ask them myself and say, you know, no one has helped us. We need help.
Therefore, you get a discount on yours.
Yeah, no, probably not. However, for those of you, the rest of you, and
There's always a catch.
anybody watching this, you know, later, I will help you with your whatever images, because you have to have a special image size for your Patreon background, okay? It's different than your promotions. It's different from Facebook. It's different from LinkedIn. All the ones, you know, they all have their own sizes. So I will help you with that. Now, we do have a new beginners class, and you know you all are welcome to come. I just need to know, because I only have room for 10 people, 12. I only have room for 12 people. I've already sold 3. It's this Saturday. So I just need to know you're coming, so I won't sell out and have nobody, somebody won't have a place to sit if I sell too many, right? So that's this Saturday at Office in America from 10 to 1, and then we go to lunch afterward. Okay? So
I can't this week. This week it's the Indie Palooza, Indie Authors Palooza.
Yes, I realize that you know you all are probably going to go to that. So sorry about that. I made this a long time ago, this date. So
I do want to do this. I do want to get going on this. I just have been too scattered.
I do too, but October is really, really busy here in the camp. We're almost full already.
What I'm going to do is have a webinar that has the same information on it, okay? So it's going to be different than the live. It won't be a full 3 hours and all that. You won't get to go to lunch with us and all that. But at least you'll still get the information that I share.
Good idea.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I'll have a PowerPoint presentation that I'll do, and I'll do it webinar style.
I have authors conferences Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I will not be available at all this weekend.
Okay. Anybody else think they might come?
I'm not coming. I'm busy.
Okay. Nope.
Nope.
I think Louise is going.
I haven't talked to Mary yet. I had to leave after we talked this morning.
Okay.
I'll get in touch with her.
Yeah. Well, you're coming whether she's bringing you or not.
It's a good way to put it.
That's right. In case you have a friend that you think really needs this information and you've been wanting them to get into podcasting, but they just been dragging their feet or they don't know what they're doing, tell them about it. Tell them about the class. It's this Saturday, okay?
How much is it? 40 something?
It's $47. Yes, and it's a 3 hour, it's from 10 to 1, and then we go to lunch afterwards. And if y'all can make the lunch and you can't make the class, you just want to go, feel free to do that as well. So I don't have a date on the webinar yet, but it will be after this weekend. Okay? Okay, who's next?
I want to say that I am still doing my podcast every week, and I've gotten onto a couple more. They put me on, added me onto like 2 more. And I wanted to thank Marian because she came up with such a beautiful thank you picture that we needed for Patreon. And she helped me be able to do my podcast and add it to Patreon. And I'm really excited about that, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Good.
So,
Yes, that's what I want to hear. Yes. All right. Anybody else?
Well, I haven't been doing much. I've just been in another la land, so I'll get with it this week.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mary, what's your question?
On the podcast, do you need to have basically one subject that you cover, or can you cover many subjects? Not all in the same podcast, but each. Do you have to have it all the same as you're going along?
I understand her question, and I'm going to let Peg or Karen take this.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you. No, you don't. In fact, the reason why we called ourselves PKs, a little bit of everything, is that we intend on doing different things. Once we have 3 that are on books and food, but we want to expand to other things. So the way that you'll find it when you hit on our podcast, the episode title will tell you, kind of give you an idea of what that one is about.
Okay.
And you will know by your episode title what you're going to be discussing.
Okay.
Like gone to Marion's. Have you gone to Marion's and then you've seen the one that has I don't know, it has cemeteries and what all's in that, Marion? It was one that
cells, cemeteries, and I don't know. Great.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's all in the episode. You see that before you click on it.
Yeah.
So the answer is you can change it to whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know, just give everybody a clue in your episode title.
There you
Okay,
go.
thank you.
Now, most podcasts and most videos do have some sort of theme. Now, the theme could be you. Okay, so I watch a lady who just turns her camera on in her house, in her car, outside, whatever she's doing, but the theme is her. Okay, so what am I doing today type of thing. She
Okay.
interviews weirdos, and she goes to the store and finds, interesting stores, and she'll take you with her. And so the theme is different every day. It's just she's the main thing.
Isn't Mother Mary, aren't you Mother Mary Mix? Or Mixture?
I'm
Mary's Mixture.
Mary's Mixture.
Okay, so you are a mixture of things.
Yes.
You're
yes,
kind of like us, a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, it's
Cool.
just like tonight. I was at the jam session, and I could do a podcast on that because I meet people there every week that I haven't seen. And one gentleman, he was almost 90, and he was still writing songs and singing and having a ball. And I mean, it's just awesome, you know.
And you could interview them like Marion does on some of hers, where she interviewed Louise.
Yes, yes.
That would be really cool.
That's what I was thinking because, yeah.
Yeah.
And where I'm going in Florida, they have similar, not that, but just different. I mean, that's what I love to do is just go out and just talk to people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should do it from that site. Maybe
So
you
Louise has a great opportunity to talk about anything because her theme is people over 50. But that could cover anything from healthcare to something to do,
Yes.
to
Yeah.
your animals, gardening. It doesn't really matter. It's all in how you structure it, and you can talk about it in your podcast,
Cool.
right?
Yeah.
And anybody here, you could say the same thing. I think Steve Baker is the only one that has very narrow. He's only going to be talking about Medicare.
Yeah.
But the rest of us, like Christy, she's decided to go into not just UFOs, but also anything, I don't know, supernatural or
Yeah, all that stuff.
astrology. She's got this whole thing going on, so she could talk about anything that pertains to what she does.
Twilight Zone.
The Twilight
That's
Zone?
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, but even with Steve's, he can be interviewing the man on the street that has Medicare or people that have signed up for Medicare, whatever.
Yeah,
So that
that's what I
you're
said.
not stuck, Steve, doing it yourself if you wanted somebody else in on your podcast.
Sure, I understand. Yeah,
And,
you're right.
Steve could also come at it from, well, let me interview somebody who's about to step into the Medicare. And let's see what questions they have. Like, I'm 4 years away from Medicare. I'm starting to think about it. Okay, my friends are starting to be on it, and I'm starting to hear more about it, and I'm wondering, is it still going to be there? There's all these things. So he could go into before you're on Medicare, as you're doing Medicare, after you've already picked something, can I change it? There's a lot of different topics that he could cover.
Well,
And
that one
so-
post that I was talking about earlier was they were talking about that you have to, there's like an open window.
Yeah, there is, right? Yeah.
There's a certain window that you have to do everything in, and people get it wrong.
Yeah, time period.
They on big time. One of our friends missed that window. You have 3 months before your 65th birthday to 3 months after. And one of our friends, because he was working, thought he didn't have to get in and sign up for Medicare. And then when he did, because somebody said, "Oh no, you've got to be signed up."
Right. That's what this whole post was about. And I'm telling you what, by the end, by reading everybody else's answers on the thing, I was so dadgum confused because
Yeah.
everybody had a different opinion.
See, Steve?
everybody had a different opinion about, was it 6 months before? Was it 6 months after? Was it 3 months before, 3 months after? One person said, it's 7 months. It's the 3 months before your birthday month, and then your birthday month, and then 3 months after your birthday month. And I thought, how the hell does anybody get this right?
Well, not only that, people don't realize that Medicare is just not one Medicare. There's 3 different Medicare.
Well, and so
no,
then they started getting
it's
into, well, is this the Medicare, or is this the supplement, or is this, and I thought, this freaking post, this one post is making my head hurt. And I thought, you know what? I don't know. I mean, well, here's the thing. It's so easy to get it wrong, and it's so important to get it right. Right? So if you could have, like, if you could be a real person that got on a live and said, so which 6 months is it?
You know why I'm laughing is because I'm doing my annual certifications
Again.
and I'm right in the middle of all this crap.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
like-
I was like, you need a PhD to understand the rules of freaking Medicare.
I was
As
thinking,
far as taxes or Medicare.
I'm
When you
telling
said-
you, I'm
when
telling
you said,
I was like, I'm so thankful that I have a Steve Baker in my corner, because I'm going to call him up in January of 2020 and say, I'm turning 65 on July 31st. So what do I need to mark in my calendar, and what do I need to do? What day do I need to call you? Where do you want the check?
That's the benefit of having Steve.
Or
you know what
And
you're
then
saying
that-
is profound, because I've spent all day on the computer doing my certifications and my head hurts.
Yeah.
Should.
And
No,
then
I'm
you
just telling you, I think that if you could help people feel safe, right? Because
Right.
we're so afraid. I don't know that anything scares us today like healthcare,
Right.
right? I mean, at any age, but particularly as we are aging,
hmm
I mean, if you don't have a supplement, so you don't have any coverage for whatever it is Medicare doesn't cover, then one significant illness could wipe you out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I say I have a presentation.
Well-
I did one last week at my church, and I told people that we use 20% of our Medicare our health care rather, in the first 80% of our life. And the last 20%, we use 80% of our health care that we use through
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
I mean, it
believe it.
accelerates.
I believe it. I mean, we
It
kept
accelerates rapidly. Yeah.
my mother is 86, and so I mean, obviously she's been on this for a long time, but I'm telling you what, she cracks me up, because she does all this research, and they come to her house, her little apartment, and interview her and talk to her and all this, and she'll tell them, I can't make a decision until I talk to my children, and then she'll talk to one or two of us and talk about the benefits or whatever. But yeah, we've paid for supplemental insurance for her forever.
So Steve, the moral of the story is get your podcast up and running, because we need you.
Yes.
Well, and here's the other thing that I want to just say in conjunction with what I just said. The children of these people need educated,
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
because the
Absolutely.
children of these people have huge influence over their parents.
Yes.
Exactly.
And if they say, you don't need that, you don't need to worry about that, and then they're not going to need it, or they're not going to worry about it, and they should worry about it, and they do need it.
Yeah.
Steve, in the last 2 months, I've probably gotten, you say 3, maybe 4 phone calls out of the blue, somebody wanting to offer me the best Medicare supplemental, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I tell them, I really don't need to talk to you because I have Medicare and TRICARE. And they said, but we have these things we want to go over with you. We'll send somebody to your house. I said, you
Oh,
don't
my
understand. Thank you very much. End of story. Because if they don't know what that is, then I have no trust that they know what they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, it's such a
right.
shame. It's such a shame. It really is.
Well, and
It's just-
there's so many, like where my mom lives is a retirement village,
Mm-hmm.
right? I call it a retirement village. It's an apartment complex, and everybody that lives there is over the age of whatever.
Yeah.
but they have this really nice community center, and they would have you in to do a talk.
Right.
You know, I mean, but I just think, yeah, I don't know. I'm not even in the year yet that I need it, and I'm already inundated, and
Yeah.
I'm already confused. And I'm a fairly bright gal, so you know, it's not like I'm a dummy. You know, I'm a pretty bright gal. So they've already confused the hell out of me.
Yes. Well, guys,
Right.
it is 9:02. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for being here with us. And, you know, next week, for sure, we do have the LinkedIn guy coming, Tony. And I'm going to stop the recording.
How